It's so hard for me to sit back here in this studio looking at a guy out here hollering my name when last year I spent more money on spilled liquor in bars from one side of this world to the other than you made. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand.
I'm back again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a I don't care. Did it for my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my share. Get on my God, I might tell them it's nothing. In the discussion, for them feelings, I throw all my pain on percussion. It's disgusting. I hear them bragging about that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you on my spot at the feast. I've been on go mode, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty talking about old. I'm on that now, can't get a pass now. I'm a cash cow, keeping it brash now.
I brought that with me. Case they get too iffy. Baby, don't stress, don't sweat it. Put it all on my baby. Know how I'm coming, and they know what we hate. Around through that left side, low end. All of mine need more wins. If you got beef, don't come out. Cause my young hitter might go in. Uptown GN. Working all through my weekend. Hoping these don't show out. Cause all of my hitters too deep in. With a boy, I'm so ashamed. Ain't worried about long as my money and my green. Baby, I ain't got work tomorrow. Tell me what the business is. Ain't about no club hop. I'm trying to start some businesses. Shorty, you thought it was, they better know it's not that. Talking all that online, they knowing that it's not fact. Sliding through my hood, I make maneuvers like a Uber, baby. Got a 10-year plan, these can't tell what they doing lately. And I'm way too clean, I'm Listerine, I thought they been knew it. All in my lungs, I got my red cup full of that Henny fluid. Young middle Mad Mac, I'm swinging that leg, I'm banging that do or die. And I ain't that Lily before I get crucified. Living in my bloodline, this place in my family tree. How the they pressed, I did my best out of what they handed me. Straight out of that country, know my shawty thick as human air. And I need not mention no extensions, that's human hair. Boy, we grew in there. Around through that left side, low end. All of mine need more wins. If you got beef, don't come out. Cause my young hitter might go in. Uptown GN. Working all through my weekend. Hoping these don't show out. Cause all of my hitters too deep in. Tell them no stress, no biggie. Baby, I'm just too jiggy. Better know I brought that with me. Case they get too iffy. Baby, don't stress, don't sweat it. Put it all on my baby. Know how I'm coming, and they know what we headed. Be that left side, low end. That left side, low end. That left side, low end. That left side, low end.
We were living in some projects, and they were new projects.
Yeah.
They had hot, cold, running water. They had hot, cold, running water, baby.
And hot and cold running water, baby.
Hey, listen, it's Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother DMG the Poet, aka Brother P. Anki. And we got another powerful show with another powerful guest. The guest will be joining us shortly. But in the meantime, in between time, y'all know what it is. I got to do my spiel. So I want to say Hotep to all my Kemetic brothers and sisters. I want to say God bless to all my Christian brothers and sisters. I want to say Assalamu alaikum to all my brothers and sisters in the NOI. I want to say Islam to all my Moorish brothers and sisters. I want to say peace to all my brothers and sisters in the nation of gods and earth, them 5%ers. Salute to the God body, Marlon Simmons. I want to say, what's up to all my Rasta brothers and sisters. I want to say salute to all my atheist brothers and sisters. I want to say what's up to all my Abo brothers and sisters. What's up to all my Naga brothers and sisters? Peace to all my Owaspi brothers and sisters. Create a gang in the building. I want to say what's up to all my indigenous African brothers and sisters. I made that up on the fly because I lost my place. Y'all know what I mean, though. Chambo to all the rest of my brothers and sisters all throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States of America or beyond. Y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. If you're Black, I'm with you. And I hope that you with me. Our different ideologies should not keep us from uniting. We can have unity without uniformity, and we can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. Family, this is a brother who I've been trying to link with for a minute. He said he got some powerful information for us. Brother, please introduce yourself to the Paradigm Shift TV 314 audience.
Well, I'm Brother Jose. I don't have any great accolades behind my name. So I'm just Brother Jose. I am very honored to be on this platform. I just want to do a little bit of reading. Maybe take some questions if we have time, but that's it. I don't have, not a doctor, not a Kemetic priest, not follow Jesus Christ. I don't have all them great accolades behind my name. So I'm just a regular dude.
You say he's just a regular dude that want to put out some information. That's what we all about. He got a channel, family. I'm going to put the link to his channel in the chat. So for those of you who are watching, hit that link. Go support the brother. Go subscribe to his channel. Let's build this brother up. He say he's just a regular dude, but he a regular dude that's trying to put forth some information and some truth as he see it to the people. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Let's go support him. All right, brother, I'm gonna go on mute.
All right. I think I'm gonna go into the Papyrus of Ani. So I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna read it in English just to keep it simple. And then I may get an opportunity to go into some of my videos. But if not, that's cool. So I'm gonna share my screen. I don't know if you've seen it.
Not yet. Oh, there we go.
All right. Is it? All right. Do I need to make it bigger?
Let me see. I can make it full screen. Give me a second.
Okay, that's good. So this is just a little background. This is just a little background on the papyrus here. So to be thorough, then we'll get into some of the readings of the papyrus. This is the Papyrus of Ani is an artistic. First of all, this is a book by Faulkner, who's a very popular and well-respected Egyptologists, and several other people. This is like a facsimile of the actual papyrus. Because as you're going to see, he's going to explain to you why they had to redo the book. Right? This is the Papyrus of Ani. It's an artistic rendering of a spiritual mysteries of life and death. For the first time since its creation 3,300 years ago, the ancient papyrus, the most beautiful surviving example of the text known collectively as the Egyptian Book of the Dead, is available in full color, featuring an integrated English translation. Directly below each image, the papyrus was discovered in England in 1888 by Sir E. A. Wallace Budge, keeper of Egyptian antiquities at the British Museum. The 78-foot long scroll was hastily cut into even lengths and pasted onto wooden boards before any translation was undertaken. Fortunately, Budge commissioned an elaborate and sumptuous facsimile that forever preserved the intensity of the colors and imagery of the original papyrus. Some 5 years later, when Budge's translation was completed, it revealed that the yardstick method of cutting the papyrus had destroyed its continuity and the relationship between text and image, which glue and sunlight had damaged the fragile original. So I'm going to go now to the actual text so we can do a little bit of reading. This is the Medu Neter here. We're not going to read that for time's sake. All right, let me make sure. All right. So here's the beginning of the reading here. He says, "Hail to you, having come as Khepri, even Khepri, who is the creator of the gods. You rise and shine on the back of your mother, the sky. Having appeared in glory as king of the gods, your mother Nut shall use her arms on your behalf in making greeting. The Manu mountain receives you in peace. God embraces you at all seasons. May you give power and might and vindication and a coming forth as a living soul to see Heru Kehuti to the Ka of Ani." He says, "O all you gods of the soul mantle who judge sky and catch and earth in the balance, who give food and provisions, O Tatian, unique one, creator of mankind, O southern, northern, western, and eastern innards, give praise to Ra, Lord of the sky, the sovereign who made the gods. Worship him in his godly state when he appears in the Debar. May those who are above worship you. May those who are below worship you. May Jehuti and Ma'at write to you daily. Your serpent foe has been given over to the fire, and the rebel serpent is fallen. His arms are bound. Ra has taken away his movements, and the children of impotence are non-existent. The mansion of the prince," and this would be the Medu Neter to what we just read here, basically, which we're not going to get into. "Festival, the noise of shouting in the great palace. The gods are in joy when they see Ra in the appearing, his rays flooding the lands. The majesty of his noble god proceeds. He has entered the land of Manu. The land is bright at his daily birth, and he has attained his state of yesterday. May you be gracious to him when I see your beauty, having departed from upon earth. May I smite the ass, may I drive off the rebel serpent, may I destroy Apophis when he acts, for I have seen the fish in his monument of his moment of being, and the inert fish piloting the canoe in its waterway. I have seen Heru as helmsman, with Jehuti and Mahat beside him. I have taken hold of the bow wrap of the night bow and the stern warp of the Debar. May he grant that I see the Sundays and behold the moon, unceasingly every day. May my soul go forth to travel to every place which it desires. My name shall be called out, may be found at the board of offerings. May they be given to me loaves in the presence, like the followers of Heru. May a place be made for me in the solar bark on the day when the god ferries across, and may I be received in the presence of Asar in the land of vindication for the Ka of Ani. Worship of Asar Wenefer, the great God who dwells in the Thynite Nome, King of eternity, Lord of everlasting, who passes millions of years in his lifetime. Firstborn son of Nut, begotten of Geb, heir, Lord of the Wereret crown, whose white crown is tall, sovereign of gods and men. He has taken the crook and the flail and the office of the forefathers. May your heart, which is in the desert land, be glad, for your son Heru is firm on your throne, while you have appeared as Lord of Osiris, as the ruler who is in Abydos. The two lands flourish at vindication because of you in the presence of the Lord of all. All that exists is ushered in to him in his name of face to whom men are ushered. The two lands are marshaled for him as leader in his name of Sokar. His might is far reaching, one greatly feared. In the name of Asar, he passes over the length of eternity, his name of Wanefa. Hail to you, King of kings, Lord of lords, ruler of rulers, who take possession of the two lands, even in the womb of Lu. So let me stop here for a second, DMG, because I know that last passage sounded familiar. Did it not? You hear me, DMG? Hello? Are you hearing me? I don't think you're hearing me. Right. So right here, I'm going to stop for a minute to show you why that last passage sounded familiar. That sounded very much like a verse that you would see in your Bible, right? And just so, let me show you the Medu Necha. It's right here. It says, Suten de Nesut, Neb de Nebu, M Heka Hekawu, right? So that is something that you would definitely be familiar with when you read the Bible. So this shows you how there's definitely a connection between these documents and the Bible, right? Ruler of rulers who took possession of the two lands, even in the womb of Lut. He rules the plains of the side of the land, even he, golden of body, blue of head, whose arms is turquoise, O pillar of myriads, broad of breast, kindly of countenance, who is in the sacred land. May you grant power in the sky, might on earth, and vindication in the God's domain. A journeying downstream to Basiris as a living soul, and a journeying upstream to Abju as a heron, to go in and out without hindrance all the gates of the Duat. May there be given to me bread from the house of cool water, and a table of offerings from Heliopolis, my toes being firmly planted in the field of reeds. May the barley and emmer which are in belong to the car of the Asar Ani. O my heart which I have from my mother, O my heart which I had from my mother, O my heart of my different ages. Do not stand up as a witness against me. Do not be opposed to me in the tribunal. Do not be hostile to me in the presence of the keeper of the balance, for you are my car, which was in my body, the protector which made my members hail. Go forth to the happy place, whereto we speed. Do not make my name stink to the entourage which make man. Do not tell lies about me in the presence of the Necha. It is indeed well that you should hear. Thus says Jehuti, judge of truth, to the great Pasej, which is in the presence of Asar. Hear this word of every truth. I have judged the heart of the deceased, and his soul stands as a witness for him. His deeds are righteous in the great balance, and no sin has been found in him. We do not diminish the offerings in the temples. We do not destroy what has been made. We do not go about with deceitful speech while he was on earth. Thus saith the great Iliad to Jehuti, who was in Hermopolis, the utterance of yours is true. The vindicated Asar Ani is straightforward. He has no sin. There is no accusation against him before us. Ahmed shall not be permitted to have power over him. Let there be given to him offerings which are issued in the presence of Asar, and may a grant of land be established in the field of offerings for the followers of Heru. So DMG, you hear me? DMG? I ain't hearing him, boy. Oh shit. DMG step away and I didn't even realize it. All right, so DMG is not there at the moment. So let me continue reading until he comes back. I'm calling the man and I didn't realize the man stepped away. All right, so let's continue reading. So this here is basically describing the judgment scene, talking about how you would be judged, and if you're found not wanting Amit, which is the a beast that is looks like a hippopotamus and so on, right? It's a composite of several different animals, and if you're found wanting, she will eat your soul. So in this case, he was not found wanted, he was vindicated. He is giving his plot of land in the field of offerings, right? So this brother, Ani, was a scribe, a sesh. I think he was a scribe of the offerings of the Netra. So he was being judged and he became Asar Ani. So as we go in here, we see in different names of Asar like Wenefer and all of these different names, right? So thus saith Heru, son of Aset, I have come to you, O Wenefer, and I bring Ani to you. His heart is true, having gone forth from the balance, and he has not sinned against any Necha or Necha. Thus has just Jehuti has judged him in writing, which has been told to the Pasetchet, and Ma'at the great has witnessed, let there be given to him bread and beer, which have been issued in the presence of Asar, and he will be forever like the followers of Heru. Thus said Ani, here I am in your presence, O Lord of the West. There is no wrongdoing in my body. I have not wittingly told lies. There has been no second fault. Grant that I may be like the favored ones who are in your suite, or Sar, one greatly favored by the good God, one beloved of the Lord of the two lands, Ani vindicate before Asar. So, of course, at this point, he's passing through. They're presenting him to Asar, saying his heart is true. He has come forth through the balance. He has not sinned against any god or goddess, as they say here. He has been judged, and they will give him bread and beer, which are traditional offerings to the deceased. As you can see, the Medu Netra is here. So I'm not going to attempt to read it, any of that, right? So, but this would be what I just read. All of this here would be what I just read. So we're continuing. Here begins the chapters of going out into the day, the praises and recitations for going to and fro in the God's domain, which are beneficial in the beautiful West, and which have been spoken of their burial, and of going in after coming out. Hail to you, Bull of the West. So says Jehuti, the King of eternity, of me. I am the great God, the protector. I have fought for you. I am one of those gods of the tribunal which vindicated Asar against his foes on the day of judgment. I belong to your company, O Asar. For I am one of those gods who fashioned the children of Nut, who slew the foes of Osiris, and who imprisoned those who rebelled against him. I belong to your company, O Asar. I have fought for you, and have watched over your name. I am Jehuti, who vindicated Asar against his foes on the day of judgment in the great mansion of the prince, which is in Hierapolis. I am a Busite, the son of Busarite. I am conceived in Busaras. I was born in Busaras, where I was with the men who lamented and the women who mounted Asar on the shores of the washermen, and who vindicated Asar against his foes. So they say, O Ra, Jehuti has vindicated Asar against his foes. So men say, Jehuti has helped me, so that I might be with Heru on the day of the clothing of the dismembered one, and the opening of the caverns for the washing of the inert one, and the throwing open of the door for the secret things in Resejet, so that I might be with Heru as a protector of the left arm of Asar who is in Lectopolis. I go in and out among those who are there on the day of the crushing the rebels of Lectopolis, so that I may be with Heru on the day of the festival of Asar. Offerings are made on the days of the 6-day festival and the 7-day festival of Hierapolis. On the priest in Busarit, for the lying God in the house of Asar, with those who raise up the earth, I am the one who sees the mysteries in Resejet. I am he who reads the ritual book for the souls in Busaris. I am the semi-priest at these duties. I am the master craftsman on the day of placing the bark of Sokar on a sledge. I am he who takes the whole on the day of breaking up the earth. Or he who came, the perfected souls, to draw near to the house of Asar, may you cause the excellent soul of Ani to draw near with you to the house of Asar. May he hear as you hear, may he see as you see, may he stand as you stand, may he sit as you sit. So I would think that this may be what we're talking about here, or the one before. Or ye who give bread and beer to the perfected souls in the house of Asar, may ye give bread and beer at all seasons to the soul of Ani, who was vindicated with all the gods of the finite Omen, who was vindicated with you. Or ye who open a path and open up roads to the perfected soul in the house of Asar, open a path for him, open up roads for the soul of Ani in the company with you. May he come in freely, may he go out in peace from the house of Asar, without being repelled or turned back. May he go in favor, may he come out loved, may he be vindicated, may his commands be done in the house of Asar. Oh, oops, sorry. Made a mistake. And speak with you, may he be a spirit with you. May no fault be found in him, for the balance is voided in the misdoings. I have risen from the egg which is in the secret land. My mouth has been given to me that I may speak in it. Chapter for giving a mouth to Ani for him in the God's domain. I have risen from the egg which is in the secret land. My mouth has been given to me that I may speak with it in the presence of the great God, Lord of the Duat. My hand shall not thrust aside in the tribunal of all gods, for I am Asar, Lord of the Sedjan. I will share this one who is on the dais, for I have come forth for what my heart desires in the lake of fire, which is quenched for me. So I don't know if, if DMG is back. DMG, you back yet? DMG done left me alone, yes? So at this point, I don't know. Wow. Okay. All right. I don't know what to do because I'm here by myself. So right. So let me continue reading a little bit more. Then I'll unshare this and I'll probably read something else. Hail to you, Lord of life, prominent in the great mansion, in charge of the twilight. I have come to you, spiritualized and pure, for your arms are about you, and your portion of food is before you. May you give me my mouth, for which I may speak, and may my heart guide me at the hour of destroying the night. So he's asking about giving him a mouth to be able to speak in the afterlife. As for him who knows this book on earth, or it is put in writing on the coffin, it is my word that he shall go out in the day in any shape that he desires, and shall go into this place without being turned back. And there shall be given to him bread and beer, and a portion of meat from upon the altar of Asar. He shall enter safely into the field of reeds in order to learn this command of her who is in Busiris. There shall be given to him barley and emmer therein. He shall be hale like he was upon earth, and he shall do what he wishes, like the Pesejit who are in the Duat, a matter of 1,000,000 times true. So this is telling you that you should, as for him who knows this book on earth, or it is put into writing on the coffin. So they're saying that this is something that you should know while you're on earth, and these are things that will be written on the coffin, right? So these are not just things that you should know when you die. You should know these things when you are alive, so that when you are gone into the field of reeds, you can become a Sar, and you can be happy and be given bread and beer and meat and all of these different things as they do with the ancestors. So at this point, I think I'm going to, well, DMG, you there? He's not there. I want.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, were you listening to my reading?
I was.
So I didn't realize that you had left. So I was saying there's a part where it says the king, the ruler of rulers, the Lord of Lords, and the King of Kings. So I was saying, doesn't that sound very familiar? Hello? Are you hearing me?
Let me add that back.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So
Yeah, that was the part that stood out. And so what you trying to say, brother?
it's not what I said, it's what the text said. And it's a primary text. I did show you in the text where it said that. So I didn't make it up, Faulkner didn't make it up. So I'm saying there might be a little syncretism within Christianity and the Kemetic philosophy. I'm sure as a well-studied person, you would be able to understand what syncretism is, correct? Hello? You hear me, DMG? Are you hearing me? I don't think you're hearing me. DMG, you hear me? Oh God, am I talking to myself? I think I'm talking to myself, yes?
My bad, bro. I'm having some audio issues.
Oh, I thought I was right. So I was saying there's something called syncretism, which is where you take different religious beliefs and you put them together. So I think there's a bit of syncretism going on here. I don't want to use the word. No,
Okay,
go,
walk with me. Let's go down this rabbit hole. Not me and you, but just you.
Okay.
So let's not use syncretism. We ain't gonna say plagiarism because we know that wouldn't necessarily. Let's go a little bit on the positive side. Let's say inspiration. What would you say to that word?
Well, you know, since I'm talking to a person who is a Christian, I don't want to use.
No. Don't do
I don't
that.
want to use
Don't do
harsh
that.
language.
You know
I
my
don't use
skin
harsh language.
is super thick.
Okay.
You know my skin is thick. So use your words, my brother. Use your words.
Let's say this, DMG. We would say that at one point the Greeks and the Romans did acknowledge that they took something from Kemet. And when Christianity was formed, Christians took that and they didn't necessarily acknowledge that that's where it came from. They may not have known. I don't know. But I'm sure if you ask Father so-and-so, he knows. I don't know if your pastor would know that. But there's definitely things that have been taken. There's definitely a good line to say that these things have been taken and they have not, and Christians and Muslims and others have not acknowledged where they come from initially, but they're forced to now.
Let's give me some examples, bro. And remember, me and you not debating. We're not about to go back and forth. But brother, I need you to be comfortable talking your talk. You are not. I'm not here to be in opposition with you. You're here to express your thoughts. And
I gave you one just now.
And talk about the conclusions you then came to based on what you read.
Well, you know, I definitely showed you one there for sure, and I showed you it in the primary text where it says that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have to talk about the idea of Heru and Asar, because they show you that Asar in the papyrus is bringing Ani to Heru. So that goes into the no man comes unto the Father but by me, because he's bringing him to his father eventually.
So Heru is bringing Ani to Asar.
No, Asar is bringing Ani to Heru. If you look at the map, it shows you him bringing.
Okay, so the father is bringing Ani to the son.
Yes.
Okay.
No, wait a minute. Did I say that right, or am I tripping?
If Asar is bringing Ani to Heru, right, Asar is Heru's father.
Yes.
So if Asar is bringing Ani to Heru, then the father is bringing the mortal person
Right.
to the son, to his father. Yeah, to his son, I mean.
So I didn't say
Whereas
that correctly.
Christianity
So hold on,
says,
hold on. I didn't say that correctly. I think did I say something wrong? I might
you
have
said
said
if you look at the text, if you look at the papyrus,
yes.
Asar is bringing Ani to Haru.
Yes.
And I was just saying that, so unlike Christianity, where you can only come into the Father by the Son, with the text you're talking about, I guess you can only come into the Son by the Father.
No, that's not true.
But you made that you did just make that parallel, didn't you?
I did, but I think I said something wrong there.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and build, brother.
I think I just made a boo boo.
Hey, at least you got
I might have made a-
the integrity.
I might have made
At least you
a boo-boo
got the
on that one.
integrity to admit it, brother. Most people don't, so don't feel
But
away
let me
about it.
but let me save myself there.
Yeah,
That is Christian too.
no.
That is Christian too. That is Christian too. Because the Son is still the way to the Father in Christianity. So even though I said it wrong, you know what I meant. There's still a
Okay.
similarity. There's still a similarity. Because they say Jesus is the way to the Father. But what's interesting about Asar and Haru, when you hear the story, one is a resurrection of the other. Because they said when they found Asar, he had no penis. So his being went into a Set, and she became pregnant. So he is a resurrection of a resurrection deity. So they are both the same. And that is a Christian tenet too. I and my Father are one. So do you agree with that, or do you think I'm reaching a little bit?
I think with these particular deities you're reaching, yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I think there are parallels between Kemet and Christianity. Like for instance, when you have the Trinity, which is what you was kind of alluding to with the Father and the Son being the same. Are you familiar with the Linden hymns?
No, I don't think I've heard that before.
Do me a favor. Go Google the Linden hymns and put Egypt behind it. Or either put the Linden hymns and then put
the lending.
Yeah, I'm gonna spell it for you. Give me 1 second. Let me go to my little notepad. And the reason I'm having you look this up is because when we look at the idea of a Trinity and we look for like parallels between Kemet and Christianity, I think it's other than the one people try to stretch and make a parallel. So it's Leiden.
Leiden.
Yeah, the Linden hymns, and then put in Ptah.
The Linden hymns, HYMS.
Yep. And then after you put in Linden hymns, put in Ptah and Amun Ra, and let me know what you get.
Okay, it says the Leiden hymns refer to a collection of ancient Egyptian religious texts, specifically mention a trinity of gods, Amun, Ra, and Ptah. These hymns highlight the concept that while distinct deities, they are also unified force, with Amun, Ra, and Ptah representing different aspects of the divine. Amun is described as the hidden, mysterious aspect, Ra as the visual solar aspect, and Ptah as the created embodiment of the divine force. Okay.
And what was the source that you read that from?
Oh, that's a good question. That was an AI overview. That wasn't a specific site.
That was an AI overview, and they took that verbatim from it was either the Oxford Encyclopedia, or it could have even been Britannica, but then that's also the same description from the museum. So my point is, and I get the one from the museum, but it basically breaks that down the exact same. And so, and that's just something to help you when you're looking for parallels, because you see it make a direct one for one with the Christian Trinity. That's a better concept of a Trinity and a one for one parallel than what people try to make with Asar, Set, and Haru, because it's literally telling you these are the same being. Do that make sense?
Well, this is where we go back to syncretism again, where we talk about Amun and Ra being syncretized as one being, because initially they were two different beings and they were syncretized. Then now the experts are trying to make the experts are really saying there are different aspects of one particular being, which is not unusual, because you would probably be more well studied in ancient Kemet than I am. So you would know that all of these, that Amun, no, not Amun, Keper would be the creator, and he created all of the deities from himself. And then when he cried, that's how he created humans. So you would be familiar with those texts, right?
Right. And then you would also know that Amun later, or and in a different known, was he was the all-encompassing deity, in that every aspect of creation was an aspect of Amun. So when you merge him with Ra, you have Amun acting as the aspect of potential existence or creation, and you have Ra as the actual aspect of existence and creation, as the sun. You have Amun as the hidden, and he identified as the flag blowing in the wind, because. But then you got Ra as the actual, the sun, and then you have Ptah as that creative aspect. But my point in bringing that up is, again,
you missed two things.
In these different, depending on who was ruling, I'm gonna get it out, and then I'm gonna turn it back over to you.
Okay.
To me, that was always a better concept of a Trinity than Asar, Set, and Haru. Asar, Set, and Haru, to me, always seemed more like a triad, just like Sekhmet, Ptah, and Nefertum. That's a triad. More as at the Ptah, Ptah, and Amun Ra, they literally saying these were the same being operating in different aspects as separate beings, etc. A lot how the quote unquote Holy Trinity is described. Set, Asar, and Haru not described that way. But what's your thoughts on that? And then I'm gonna go back on mute.
I understand what you're saying, but we have to also understand you have Atum Ra and Keper Ra. So these would have been more primal aspects of creation, because they call Keper Ra the self-created. Keper jet self, which means the one who created himself. And when he created himself, he sneezed out one deity, he coughed out another deity, he cried, and man, he thought about how man would leave him, and he cried, and he made man. So they're showing you that this is the universe giving birth to itself, because they say he came from an egg. So this universe giving birth to itself. So there's a science to it as well. So he is the first. So every other deity is an aspect of him, including Amun, Atum, and all of these other deities are aspects of this one, because when he came into existence, there was nothing. And then he created Ma'at. It says he brought Ma'at into existence with him, and he stood upon Ma'at. So he is the original creator. So everything must be an aspect of him. He even talk about how he came down to earth as a man, and he was drooling, and he created the cobra that you see in a suit wear upon the head, and it poisoned him. So you have to understand all of this is cautionary tales, because then the suit lived out the mythos. Am I correct in that? Everything that he did was an aspect of the divine. He carried scepters. He wore this cobra on his head. He wore these crowns, but the Neteru did it first. So he was a living example of what you should be. That is why they elevated him to that level. Do you agree or do you disagree? Are you muted? I think you're muted, DMG.
Oh, my bad, brother. I said, I agree with you. Keep building.
Right. So this is, and the cobra is showing you that Ra was so powerful, even as an old man on earth, he created something that almost destroyed him because he didn't really understand his own power. When he went to Aset to ask her about it, she said, you created it. But his initial reaction was, I don't know what this is. She said, but you created it. So that is why they wear that, to let them know that power, that your own power used without understanding, you can destroy yourself. So you have to look at the symbolism of these different things and understand where they're coming from. They're not just random religious things. These are things to show you how you should live and what you should and should not do. They talk about Set and all these other different beings. They're examples. So when people see them in a suit being given all of this or all of this authority, they think he just woke up one day and now he's a ruler. No, he had to earn that. He carries the Ankh because he was the highest of high priests. He carried the Heka because he was a ruler. So so people put that trust in him because he literally had the moral and the civil authority based on his upbringing. He didn't just wake up one day and decide that. He had to go through that. He had to be prepared for that. So we can't just say he was an egomaniac who was just running around tripping, because that's not true. He had a moral responsibility. He couldn't just wake up one day and do it. He had to have a meeting with people, and he had advisors and he had elders. So people need to get off this. He's an egomaniac. These ancestors didn't leave behind big statues because of ego. They left things behind so we could read them. They carved them in stone for us to pick these things up and use them. But people are misrepresenting and misreading what they meant. So do you agree with that or do you disagree with that?
My bad. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Do you consider the people of ancient Kemet our ancestors? Or when you say ancestors, do you mean that generally in terms of just African ancestors?
I mean, all Africans are our ancestors, and all people on the planet, according to science, are really our ancestors, if you want to be technical about it. So any particular system in Africa, you are allowed to practice because our people are born with a spiritual practice. You can't convert to being a Yoruba. You can't convert to being Kemet. You're born with it, and you're given it. And this is the man of my word. You can convert to religion, but you can't convert to your birthright. Although in 2025,
Here we go.
DMG.
You say you can't convert. You can't convert to religion, but you can't convert to your birthright?
No, because every particular ethnic group has a spiritual practice that they're born into and they're raised in. It's considered a part of their birthright. They were born a Yoruba, and that comes with a spiritual tradition. You were born in Kemet, and that comes with a spiritual tradition inherently that you must follow.
So
if you don't follow that, something's going to happen to you.
So are you saying that our brothers and sisters who espouse to be ancient Kemetic or practitioners of the ancient Kemetic spiritual tradition are infringing?
No, I'm saying once it's African, it's a birthright. So they're not converting, even though they're not direct descendants. They have a right to pick it up and follow it because it was left for us.
So you say they're not converting?
No, they're not converting. They're picking up a spiritual.
You said you're born into it, but if they don't believe it, if they're not born into it at birth, then they wouldn't born into it, were they?
We're born as Africans, so every tradition belongs to us because we don't know specifically which one is ours. So we can pick one and not be infringing on other.
So that's a part of, from your perspective, that's a part of practicing Sankofa.
You could say that.
Got you.
I would agree with that. Now, as I said, we don't have to directly be a descendant, but they left it for us for a reason. They didn't just write it down on the wall. They didn't take time to carve it on the wall because they had an ego problem. I don't think so. You know how much work that takes to carve something into a wall?
What about if you know where you come from in Africa? Should you then just follow the traditions of the area of the continent that you came from?
I would agree with that if you were a continental African and you were born into a specific group of people. But we as quote unquote African Americans, it's a little different for us. Because technically we're not born into any group. We're not really born into that. We have to go back and find it to understand. So to me, any African spirituality you take up is cool with me. Once you're African. I don't think all these Caucasians running around calling themselves this and that should be allowed to practice Kemetic or any African spirituality. That's infringement and that's disrespectful. Because they take it and make it something funky and funny. To me. I could be wrong. But I don't think they should be allowed to, because to me they never sound right, they never look right. It's about magic and this and that, and they make to me they're making a mockery of it. But I could.
So you don't feel like there's anything magical about the Kemetic, ancient Kemetic tradition?
How could I say this? They have a word called Heka, and they say Heka means magic.
So what did you mean when you said they make it magic? And you weren't talking about the Kemetic?
What I mean is this. What I mean is this. They take it and they make it this type of disrespectful, mystical thing, like it's some type of Houdini thing, and you can say this and you can say that, and you expect something to pop up immediately. That is not what Heka is. Heka is words of power, calling energies to help you, just like prayer. So if you're going to call Heka magic, then you could call prayer magic too.
Do you have any text that's an example of Heka calling forth energy and things of that nature, where you could break it down?
I don't have one specifically at the moment. I don't want to lie, but I could probably go into the TLA and find one as we speak.
Okay.
But I could type in the word and see what I might get.
Okay, that'll work.
I might find something. But of course, they're going to call it magical text. But as I said, if you're going to do that, then you have to call prayer magic, because it's technical involved.
So wait, when you say you say, of course, they gonna call it magical text. Who is the they?
The Europeans. They like to say that Heka means magic. But
and you say Heka doesn't mean magic?
No, it means words of power. It's just like when you are praying and you want to cast out a demon. They have words that you use to cast out a demon, right? They have spells where you call upon the Creator to protect you, correct? So how come all of a sudden that's not magic? That's my question.
Okay.
Because it's the same principle involved. When you look into like some medical texts, they do that as well. They give you a treatment and then they tell you that you should say words that are spoken, is what they call it in the text.
Okay.
So they say that you should say a prayer. So what is the between that and a Christian calling on Jesus to protect him from Satan? What is the difference? Is it the same thing, or do you think I'm reaching?
Well, what are you comparing it to again?
I'm saying it's just like if you are a Christian and you call upon Jesus to protect you, right? Is that
Okay.
not the same as you saying you're calling for protection in the ancient Kemetic paradigm, or am I reaching a little bit?
You said, is it the same as calling on Jesus for protection?
Yes. Or am I reaching?
I mean, if you calling on your deity that you believe in, yeah, it's the same.
Right. So, and this is the point that I'm making. The hypocritical, the hypocritical statements people make because they don't like something, and all of a sudden now becomes something bad and negative. But at the same time, they do the exact same thing all the time. That's the problem I have. Just be real with yourself. If you don't like it and it's not for you, cool, but don't call it satanic and say there's something wrong with it because it doesn't agree with you. Particularly, and this doesn't apply to you, DMG, because you are Kemetic, so I know you're familiar with the text. Probably more than me. So this is not you, but a lot of your other Christian and Muslim brothers who just make statements, and when you ask them what are they talking about, they can't substantiate with the text. They're just talking wild crazy out the side of their mouth. But as I said, that wouldn't apply to you because you are familiar with the text, so you know what I'm talking about when it comes to these things.
Yeah, no, and I know what you're talking about. Like even now, when I talk to some, not all, but some fellow Christians, I get frustrated at the way they characterize, and in some instances categorize modern Kemetic practitioners, and even with the varying degrees of what they say they believe or how they say they feel about certain things, and the mix-up that comes with modern Kemetic practitioners and the rest of the quote-unquote conscious community, because they not all the same. This idea that young Pharaoh or Sarah Seti are Kemetic is hilarious to me. And so those type of things is the type of conversations I get into. And then, some of the more nuanced things with regards to the text. So I know what you mean to a degree.
Right, but you see, the problem then becomes, if you are a Christian, then according to Christianity, you shouldn't be defending anything other than Jesus Christ. That's where you're going to get into trouble.
That's not true.
Brother, Christianity is very anti everything else, according to Christian.
But if you know something to be true, and what you're hearing about it is false, or at least false according to the information you have, you got a right to challenge what's being said, and either what's being said will be revealed to be true, or what you're saying is going to be revealed to be true, or you walk away in disagreement until you come to one conclusion or another on your own or together. But to say I can't defend something that I know to be true, whether it has to do with the mythology or story of another deity or not, is crazy.
I would agree with you, DMG, but I'm sure fellow Christians have told you you can't defend that devilishness, that is satanic. I'm sure they tell you that all the time, correct?
Not any that know me and know any better about what exactly it is we talking about.
Right, but I'm sure you've come across one or two who have told you that you cannot defend.
Well, you're exactly right. Almost probably to the number, maybe one or two, or two.
But when you're dealing with Christianity, Christianity is the idea, and this is my view now. I don't want to attack you personally, but the majority of Christians tend to think if you don't think this way, then you're gonna die and go to hell, and you can't defend anything.
Oh, but
Christianity is
here's the interesting thing, my brother. Here's the interesting thing. The Kemetic people, that some that I'm close to, feel the same way when I would defend, because I would always defend what I knew to be true about Christianity, and in particular as it related to the Black church. And when I would do that, I would get the same pushback of, even more so in some instances, that you don't need to be propagating or defending that. So like religious zealotry goes both ways, bro.
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, but they're not saying that you're gonna die and go to hell. They're just fervent that they just disagree with religion. It's not the same kind of pushback like you're gonna die and go to hell. I don't think anybody who's Kemetic would ever tell you that. And if they do, you need to tell them this full of shit.
Well, that's only because they don't believe in it.
Right.
So Christians believe in hell, and believing that you're gonna go to hell if you're not a Christian is just part and parcel of being a Christian. Whatever stakes my Kemetic brothers and sisters felt like was at stake is whatever they felt like was at stake. Hell is just whatever the Christian brothers and sisters felt like. But or if it was a Muslim, or if I'm talking to a Buddhist, whatever they outlook is on it, the disagreement is the disagreement. Your belief is what is indicative of how you think that disagreement is going to play out for each individual party. But that's not really, that's not, you know, everybody still got their right to feel how they feel based on whatever it is they believe.
But then we also have to understand that, you know, even with Kemet, I shouldn't say this, huh? Because I'm sure they're gonna get me the next time they see me on another platform or somewhere else. But I find that sometimes people who are Kemetic are way too religious. They're taking it way too religiously, and they're making it into something that it shouldn't be.
So why don't you think you don't think it was religious in ancient Kemet?
I don't use words like religion because it didn't exist then. And I think it's more nuanced than just religion. We as modern people don't have the full understanding of what Kemet was about. So sometimes we think that we have to take that religious fervor and bring it into the Kemetic space. There was a Christian, now they want to come into Kemet and act like they're Christian, and it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, but we know just because words don't exist at the time that something is happening doesn't mean that the word isn't accurate in describing what was happening.
Okay, let me put it this way. When you do a religion says you have to believe in a God. And in Kemet, there really was no gods, because God is a being that is outside of humanity, and everything good about a human is in a God. The ancient Africans said everything that's divine out there is inside. Religion doesn't tell you that. Religion tells you you are born in sin, you're wicked, and you have to run to a God outside of you to be a good person. African doesn't tell you that.
So religion isn't the belief in a deity?
A God, specifically.
A God, yeah. And the reason, okay, I'll say it like this: a God. Not talking about the origin of the pronunciation of the word God. I'm just talking about what God means.
Right.
So are we saying that Amun or Atum don't qualify as gods?
I'm saying they don't qualify as God because God is an external being that lives outside of you and has no part of you internally. That divinity is outside.
That's the only way to define a God?
That's my understanding of what God is.
Yeah, no. I'm not asking for a personal understanding, because we know that there's more to understanding what's happening around us than our own personal interpretation of it.
Well, let's just say this. If we were to look at the definition of God, we in now the definition is not the meaning, right? We could equate a nature with a God. We could say that they're the same thing.
Wait a minute, repeat that last part for me, because I
said
want to
if
make
we
sure
were-
we
I
clear.
said if we were to look at the definition, not the meaning, the definition is the way it is used in the modern English language. The meaning is the etymological or linguistic origin of the word. So if we want to define the nature as a God, we could do that. But I would not do that because I think it's minimalizing what a nature is. Because they call it ancestors nature, they call the divine nature, they call nature nature. So it's way more than just one particular being. It's everything that we see within the universe can come under nature to a certain extent. It's not just a one being that people think lives up in heaven. That is what God is to most people. A being that lives somewhere up there. And you have to spend your whole life trying to chase this being down in order to be divine. But our ancestors never told us that. They said you were born divine. And the divinity is within you. You just have to embrace it and not do crazy shit. Because if you do crazy shit, something's gonna happen.
Okay, brother. So I'm looking at the definition of God, right? It says one of several deities, especially a male deity, presiding over some portion of worldly affairs. An image of a deity, an idol, any deified person or object. I don't even know how to say this word. Where Leandre, where the Slim Reaper at when you need him. Nebulous force imagined to be responsible for one's fate. A god of poker dealt me, or the god of poker dealt me 2 aces. So let's go down to the meaning. That you said there was a difference between the meaning and the definition, which
now
I'm
the
all
meaning is
for.
the meaning is the linguistic origin of the word. It tells
So
you what language it comes from.
it says supreme being worshipped as the creator or ultimate source of the universe.
But does it tell you what language it comes from?
The supreme being, according to a particular religion or conception, she called upon Allah, the God of Islam, for help, is the example given.
Right.
The supreme being considered with reference to a particular attribute. May the God of mercy comfort you.
Yeah, but you didn't read the part where it tells you what language it comes from. That's the meaning of the word.
Right? No. I just read the definition and the meaning. So unless we disagreeing on what, because this is pretty much a universal meaning and a universal definition.
I would
So
agree,
it's not excluding any
okay,
nation of origin or anything of that nature.
Okay.
So
okay,
I just want to make sure we good on whether or not
I hear
what we consider in Africa to be, whether it's the Orishas, whether it's the Ifa tradition, whether it's the Zulu tradition or ancient Kemet, Kush, whatever, that in today's vernacular, these deities, energies, whatever you want to call them, wouldn't be considered gods in today's vernacular.
Let's say this. We could use that for people to understand. But I think when you look into some of these beings, you recognize that some of these deities were actually real people who were deified after their death. Like they say, they
Like
think Asar was an actual person.
Shango.
Yes, they think Asar was an actual person too.
Because Shango was a real person that was deified
Yeah.
after their death.
But guess what, DMG? All of those deities in Kemet could have been based on real ancestors who were deified after that. So we don't know that. We don't know the basis of where these things come from. They just found proof for Asar. So, and when you talk
Did
about
they
that,
really?
yes, if you look it up, they say that they think that what happened was apparently they found a head surrounded by incense in a house, and they say they think that this was the individual or one of the individuals who potentially could have been Asar.
Is that right? I hadn't heard. Usually, I try to keep up with stuff like that.
According
And
to
not to get off topic, but speaking of modern discoveries, what did you think of the scans that showed the pyramids in Giza go much deeper into the surface than originally thought?
Oh, you mean those LiDAR, whatever they call it, scans?
Yeah.
DMG, what they're doing is giving some AI nonsense to make you think they got cities running all under Giza. That's not true. Because
Is that right?
we know that there were things under the Merkut because they went in there and they went under there and they found tombs and chambers. So that is not a big deal. But now they're trying to tell you they got cities running under the desert. I don't think that's true. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe they connect.
That's what they try. So they trying to say those panels or cylinders, whatever they trying to say they is, lead to cities underground.
Yes, and they're showing you. You didn't see where they were showing you this whole made up thing of pillars with copper wrapped around them. They're showing you all of that, and all they're showing is pillars. There's no particular structure in terms of pillars or anything like that. They made that up. That's the AI generation.
Wow.
The only thing is perhaps the tombs may go a little deeper than they thought. But like now they're trying to say it's a whole underground network of cities. And that sounds crazy.
Gotcha.
There's always been tombs underneath there. We know that.
Do you want to open it up for the audience, or do you want to keep building on some of the text?
I'm scared, DMG, but since I'm here, it would be unfair if I didn't open up the question.
No, don't be scared, brother. And before we do that,
I want to be no punk. I came in here talking big, holding my nuts, so I had to keep my nuts in my hand. I had to keep my nuts in my hand.
Bro,
I had to, DMG. I can't.
You good,
I can't
bro. Hey,
now.
listen,
Open up the line, DMG. Go ahead and open up the line. Open up the line. Because
believe it or not,
I came here talking big, so I had to keep my nuts in my hand. Let's go.
No doubt. I appreciate it. And listen,
like no punk now.
Listen, 100%, bro. I didn't even go hard on you at all. I promise you I did. I promise you I did.
Because you felt sorry for me.
I didn't feel.
Nah, I ain't gonna jump in on him. If I jump in on him now, it gonna look bad. Then he gonna run. And then if you want to come another show, you're gonna look bad. So
let me ask you this, bro, because I do want you to come back. But let me ask you this: after our conversation on Super Wavy channel the other day, did you look into anything about how our ancestors came into their Christian beliefs? And
I'll say this. Initially, we were definitely forced into Christianity. That is a historical fact. And I'm not going to
do you know what my next question gonna be when you say that's a historical fact, right?
Well, DMG, if you were considered property.
No. Jose, Jose, just walk with me. We gonna stick with that is a historical fact. Okay, so now when you say that's a historical fact, but before I walk you down, what from history what evidence from history can you show me that would be indicative of that being a historical fact?
Well, you do know they had wars. You do know Christians and Muslims did have wars, and that is how Islam and Christianity spread. The Crusades was a religious war.
No. Just stay with me, Jose. I'm talking about our ancestors. Listen to me. Just hear me out. Hear me out. I'm talking about our ancestors in the antebellum South of the United States. Remember, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. What evidence from history do you have to let me know that Christianity was forced on them?
So you really don't think that Christianity was forced on black people?
Don't worry about what I think. I'm asking you because if it's so preposterous for me to think opposite of that, then you really should have something for me,
brother. I didn't say it's preposterous. I'm saying
no. I'm not saying you said that. I'm just asking though. What do you have for me that would be Europeans?
When the Europeans came into Africa,
mm-hmm.
It didn't seem to me that they came with the idea that Africans are human beings. They came with the idea that I am a Christian. These niggas have no souls because they're not Christian. And if you're not a Christian, we gonna treat you like a bag of shit. And we have papal bulls that say, if you're not a Christian, we get to treat you any way we want to.
Okay.
That's a fact. I can't show you now, but I'm sure you're familiar with that.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna deal with that, but I'm asking about Christianity being forced on our ancestors, though.
People converted to Christianity because when they converted to Christianity, they were treated better and they got an opportunity to get out from under a lot of things that their ancestors would have had to deal with. Now, I'm not saying there weren't people who did it for other reasons other than that, because, survival was an issue. And sometimes people just said, I'm going to sell my enemies into this thing. Possibly not knowing where they would go.
Okay, so you made a statement. You said that people converted to Christianity because they would be treated better, right?
That's one of the reasons.
Okay. So can you show me something from any historical evidence that would back up what you just said, that our ancestors in the antebellum South of the United States would be treated better if they became Christians?
Now, you see, you're moving the goalpost now, bro.
No, listen, you said that. My first question was that
Africa, brother.
My first question, listen to me. Hear me out. Just hear me out. I was very specific about what I was asking, bro. And so if you said Africa, you still weren't talking about what I was talking about. But I'm gonna say it again. Because you said you was from New York.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm saying our ancestors in the antebellum South of the United States, you said Christianity was forced on them. I'm just looking for something that you could show me, an edict, an article, something to show me that Christianity was forced on them. That's all.
So DMD, you don't think when our
No, listen to me, bro. Stop. Not what I think. Because if you give me that evidence I'm asking for, I ain't even got to think. I'm just asking for the evidence that occurred. That's all.
Well, it would be, let me just be honest with you. I can't pull out a specific text or specific writing to say that.
Okay, stop.
That doesn't mean I'm wrong and you're right. That doesn't mean I'm wrong and you're right.
I heard you. Because I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna show you something real quick. You just said you can't offer me anything that would indicate that occurred, right? Right, in writing. Okay, so my point to you is you saying something based on some other stuff you heard. But I'm almost certain that where you heard it from can't prove that. Because here's what I can prove. I can prove that Christianity wasn't given to our ancestors. Now, and I'm gonna prove it by asking you a question. You study the Kemetic text, right?
I'm not very well versed. I'm a beginner, so.
Right. No. I'm not asking if you're well versed. Just you study the Kemetic text, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you study the Kemetic text, you know if I take the Kemetic text and I grab, let's say, 100 passages out of the Kemetic text, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I start a class. And in that class, I have 50 students. And I close the doors. And I take them out a secret passage up into some mountains where we can't be found. And I got a bunch of men up there with guns waiting on us. And I say, y'all gonna learn these Kemetic lessons. Y'all gonna become Kemetic practitioners based on these 100 texts. And that's gonna be what it is. If you don't do it, we're gonna beat you, we're gonna kill you, we're gonna harm your children. I'm forcing this my Kemetic text on you, and it is the Kemetic tradition, right? And I forced them to learn this. And they my property because y'all can't find them, right? So it's 100 texts out of, how many thousands of Kemetic texts it is.
Yes.
Would you, as somebody who studied that text, as somebody who know people who take that text seriously and consider themselves to be Kemetic practitioners, right? Would you allow for what I gave them out of those mere 100 to be called the Kemetic tradition? Whatever lessons came, whatever I taught them, and let's say it is adverse to everything the Kemetic text to be. I got them worshiping a god called Serapis and everything else, and I'm calling it the Kemetic tradition. And this is what I forced on them. Out of my mere 100 texts versus the thousands of texts that exist. In your right mind, would you allow that to be called the Kemetic tradition?
You know what? I don't like where you're going with this, DMG.
No, I know you don't.
I don't like where you're going with this because I see where. Hold on.
Jose, hold on. Don't run. I know you don't like where it's going, and I know it hurt, but I need you to walk with me.
No, hold on.
Just answer the question, brother. The suffering is gonna be over really soon.
Before I
just answer these questions, brother. Don't run.
Before I answer the question,
don't run, brother. You can ask me a question as soon as you answer mine. I promise, and I'm not gonna run from it.
Before I answer the question, hold on, DMG.
Listen. Hold on. You gotta answer that question, Jose. You gotta answer that question. Would you be comfortable calling that the Kemetic tradition?
You know what? I'm not gonna simply answer that question.
Hold on. Jose, you just answered it for me.
Hold on, DMG. I'm gonna say this. Hold on.
Are we being honest or not?
Hold on.
Are we being honest or not?
Hold on. I'm gonna show you. I know where you're going with this.
Are we being honest? No, Jose. Are we gonna be honest?
DMG. It would be under. First of all, forcing something on someone is not Kemetic. And number two,
no. Listen to me, brothers. I need you to
hold on.
Don't move the goalpost. Don't run.
Hold on.
It's a yes or no question, brother.
I ain't gonna run like a bitch. I ain't gonna like a bitch.
I appreciate it. I appreciate
I'm
it.
gonna
So,
say, I'm gonna
go
say,
ahead.
I'm gonna say no, but I'm gonna say no with a caveat.
All right. Now, so listen,
So,
your answer is no, and I respect that no. And
so take me on
here's
a rabbit
why.
hole, and I would bring us back up because I see you going down the rabbit
Yeah,
hole.
we're gonna go down this rabbit hole, and I'm gonna see if you can climb back out. Here's the problem. Our ancestors couldn't read, wasn't allowed to read. If they were caught reading, that meant mutilation, death in some instances. My grandmother from Alabama, my grandfather from Mississippi. You hear me? So when I tell you, I didn't heard what the consequences was. My grandfather, father was still basically a slave in my grandfather's lifetime. You follow me? So what I'm telling you is this. If they couldn't read, right? And they couldn't comprehend whether or not what they was being given was the totality of the text that was being read to them, how can we sit here in good conscience when we know these people weren't given the whole Bible, which is the totality of the Christian text? You would agree to that. So they couldn't read it for themselves, and they wouldn't be given the whole text. How we sit here and say Christianity is what was forced on them, when we wouldn't say that about the Quran, we wouldn't say it about the Kemetic text, we wouldn't say it about any other text that got cherry picked and forced, so-called forced on the people, beat into a people, and all these other things, but we say it about Christianity because it's convenient for us to say it about Christianity. It ain't convenient to say it about Islam. It ain't convenient to say it about nothing else. But we wouldn't say it. Hold on, I'm gonna let you respond. We wouldn't say it about anything else, but we allow people, black people, who Christian, who done lived productive lives, who ain't molested, raped, beat, harmed nobody. I'm not talking about these suckers claiming to be Christians who done did all these messed up things. I'm talking about the people that's representing themselves and their communities well, they families, they stand up men and women. We allow them and our ancestors to be played with by saying people who couldn't read and didn't get an entire text was given the entire synopsis and philosophy of what the text contained. We only allow that with Christianity. We wouldn't say it about nothing else. And I call bullshit on it.
Okay,
go ahead, bro.
Let me respond to you. I would say that about Islam or any other religion. I'm not picking on Christianity. But here's where...
No, I'm not asking you to pick it up, bro. And that's the thing. I'm not asking nobody to pick it up. What I'm asking everybody to be is honest about it.
Okay, here's where I'm going to agree and disagree with you. I would say if a person is a good person and they're following their Bible to the best of their ability, then I should respect them and I can have a conversation with them and not beat them up about it. I agree with that. But I'm still going to say Christianity is something that is not mine. It was forced upon us, whether halfway or full way. And I don't think that I want to be involved in that because my personal experience wasn't good. And when you see the majority of Christians, they don't represent Christianity very well. They don't read the book, they don't know the book, but they're arguing with you about a book that they never read in their life. The pastor,
that's everybody. Hey, you just said everybody. Hey, brother, you just said a mouthful there. When you say people be arguing with you about a book that they ain't never read, boy, you said a mouthful. Let me ask you this, bro. How old were you? Because I know you said you don't mind me. No, you said it live. You said your age live, so we cool. How long have you been studying the Kemetic text?
To be honest, a couple years. I don't want to say, right. So that is why I say I'm sure you have studied them longer than me. So I wouldn't dare argue with you about Kemetic texts. I know that you probably know them better than me. So I wouldn't dare disrespect you by arguing with you. But
Yeah. Oh, no, bro. I still think you on the right path. Like I say, to me, you would never hear me down anybody studying the Kemetic text, brother. You would never hear that
now
ever.
let me
So
let me
don't
let me
don't.
tell you the
I think
interesting part, James.
keep doing what you're doing, bro. And I
Now
think
let
you're
me
on the right path. Like
now
I
let me
say, I think everybody should subscribe to your channel.
now thank you. But let me tell you the interesting part. You know about 2 years ago I couldn't speak any Medu Necha, and I started watching. Well, I started watching Smash Rockwell's channel, and I started to study Medu Necha. So now I can read a little bit of Medu Necha. And I have to thank the brother, and I have to thank the people in the back chat because these are the brothers who inspire me. Brothers like Reggie, brothers like Jabari. So I always tell people you shouldn't be afraid to come on and make a mistake when it comes to these things. Because if you don't do it now, 2 years from now, you're going to be sounding like a total idiot and babbling, and you will embarrass yourself more. So my channel is about showing people that it's okay to make a mistake and trying to learn something. Because at the end of the day, eventually you'll get it. And all of those who was talking out the side of their ass will still be sitting there looking stupid and can't read and understand anything. So this is my
100%. Hey,
Oh, God,
keep going. Keep doing.
Thank you, brother.
Keep doing what you're doing, brother. I think you headed down a positive path, brother. I think.
But just so you know, I don't have a problem with you. You're still my brother, and I love you.
Oh,
But
bro, you already know. You already know, bro. I rock with you. I know we've been trying to do this for a minute. I'm glad I finally got you on, but I rock with you, bro.
But if I didn't say come back home, I'd be remiss. So I had to say come back home.
No doubt. I respect it. Hey, we got a special brother just hit the panel, the one and only, the real Lions Den world champion. My man's in them, Cedric Ortega in the building. I gotta hit one of these joints for the brother because this is one of them rare treats, and so I gotta hit this before the brother go in.
Of running this shit. Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
All right, we got a nice little panel brewing. What I'm gonna ask everybody to do, I'm bringing everybody up.
So you just going to the wolves one time.
I'm asking everybody to keep it respectful. Cedric is up. I will call on you when I get to
DMG.
What's that?
You just throw me to the wolves one time, then DMG.
I think it's gonna be equal wolves on both sides, brother. I think it's gonna be equal wolves on both sides. Matter of fact, I think it's gonna be more wolves on your side. But we're gonna start with my man Cedric Ortega, and I'll call on y'all as we go. Question or comment. We're gonna try to keep it quick because we do got other people on here. Cedric, what you got for us, bro?
I appreciate that intro. Thank you, DMG. Thanks, and shout out to the rest of the panel. Good evening, my good brother Jose. Let me first state that I come in peace where you are regard. The whole Kemetic discussion that is a technical, as one of the pseudo killers, we promote scientific literacy, and I'm personally an atheist. Studying aspects of all cultures is something that I support and appreciate. My pushback is to some of the fallacies DMG presented with regards to his force. The word isn't necessarily force. The word is proselytization. The whole nature of the Christian doctrine is to go and spread this idea by several means. We have the Templars, we have the Inquisition. So by means of force, it was introduced. And once you separate a group of people, put them in.
Cedric, hold on. Your volume went down real low.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yep, you good. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just getting a call. So and then given no options or knowing any other options, but this one document as means of your quote unquote spirituality, then yes, we can call that forced. When the people are stripped of their own culture, their own identity, and not given any other option, yes, that is forced on you. I just wanted to make that little pushback. Other than that, with regards to Kemet, there again, I walk down the middle of the road. As I always keep making this analogy. The Netherlands is a Dutch country. However, you can study in both gymnasium and lyceum. That is in both Latin and in Greek. It is a quote unquote European culture. However, you never hear a Dutchman wanting to be a Greek or claiming that he's from Rome. So there is where we make the distinction. I studied all the cultures. I enjoy them, but I take no particular affinity to them, especially understanding my geographic history.
Okay.
Right. That was Ortega. Jose, please respond, brother.
Well, I think, as I always say, I think people need to understand that there's science and spirituality was always the same thing in ancient Kemet. I know he disagrees with that. So I would encourage him to read the text with a bit more of a open mind, and then he might understand what I'm saying. That's
all right. All right. Zion, the Lion War Child in the building. And you know, before you get to talking, brother, you know what I gotta do. Give me 1 second.
I'll make a pact with you. With the gods as our witnesses. Let us pledge that the winner will allow the loser all the proper funeral rituals.
There are no pacts between lions and men.
Zion the Lion, it's on you, brother.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I like what the brother's talking. You know what I'm saying? Again, I actually agree with Cedric. You know what I'm saying? I thought Cedric was going to have a different response and, you know what I'm saying, and try to burst, you know what I'm saying, bubbles and remove all of the seasonings from the potato salad and throw some raisins in it. But he didn't do that. So, you know what I'm saying? I respect that. You know, and that's basically, I wanted to, because I saw Ced come up and I was like, there has to be some of balance here. You know what I'm saying? But Ced didn't, you know what I'm saying, didn't try to come in and break nobody's faith. So I respect that. But yeah, you know, all of the study of all of these things are very important. You know what I'm saying? Studying the hieroglyphics, you know what I'm saying, the Kemetic knowledge and stuff like that. Super important to our history. Regardless of where you come from or what your geographic region is. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I got, you know, genetics from many different places. So does that, so just because I have 66% of West African, does that mean that I only can study Yoruba or whatever like that? This is wild, you know what I'm saying? And as far as, you know, people forcing religion, you know what I'm saying? So it's more of a response to Cedric. But, you know, as far as people forcing religion, people was forcing their religion long before Christianity. Europeans just had the freaking daggone upper hand when they got guns and all of that other stuff. So, you know, I don't think, and right now, you know what I'm saying, you got people out here talking about freaking daggone, you know what I'm saying, killing people who believe. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, not necessarily, you know, unaliving them, but, you know what I'm saying? It's a natural, you know, human behaviors. You know what I mean? But yeah, I enjoy what I've heard so far, Brother Jose. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to bang on you. Just wanted to bring some balance. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you very much.
You weren't getting you know what I'm saying, bombarded by a whole bunch of, you know what I'm saying, people who don't have no seasoning in their sauce. You know what I mean?
Thank you very much, my brother. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
All right, there it is. Okay. All right, Sergeant Waters. Sergeant Geronimo Waters. Let's go.
Yes, sir. So I just want to say, so speaking of pseudo killers and whatnot, and history and reading history of our ancestors, the question to when talking about people being forced to convert and things like that, or not having any other options, I'm wondering if the person who presented the argument today, DMG, your guest, Brother Jose, I know he's already said he doesn't have any evidence of this, but I guess, are you familiar with the writings of like Charles Ball, like the Drums and Shadows Project from the Georgia Writers Project, Phyllis Wheatley, Benjamin Bussey Thatcher,
No.
and sorts of people? I'm sorry?
Not that I could quote. I said not that I could quote, no.
Okay, yeah. So, well, you said not that you can quote. Are you familiar with them at all?
To be honest, I should be more familiar, but no.
Yeah. So, and I just want to say then, so I won't make it a question. I'll make it a comment. Anyone making the sorts of comments that people were coerced or that the people didn't have any other options, these are people who have not read. They're pseudo, and they have not read the history of your ancestors. There was entire projects in the 19th century in order to give slave voices where they went on recording them. And the Drums and Shadows Georgia's Writers Project is one such example. And so there were numerous other options. You can read Slave Religion by Albert Roboteau, and talking about the various other options of religions that existed in colonial America, and then even into early America after they became a nation. And so the idea that these people were being forced to convert is utter nonsense, and anybody saying anything like that is pseudo and is not serious about their ancestral history, because we have their writings. We have writings. We have things. No. You don't need to talk right now. You don't need to talk.
Hold on. Let them get it out, and then whoever want to respond, y'all can respond.
So anyhow, we have entire slave narratives, not even just from people like a Frederick Douglass, but we have entire slave narratives, a whole entire slave narrative project. Things in the 19th century with the abolition movement where numerous slave narratives were printed and reproduced. And so the idea that people don't have other options, things like that flies in the face of history. And scholars, actual scholars, not pseudo people on YouTube making comments about our ancestors, but actual scholars of African and African American history have published widely on the subject. And so the claims that there were no other options, people were forced to convert, those are the sorts of things that I'm going to ask for primary source evidence for. What accounts do you have of those sorts of things? Because in things like the Georgia Writers Project,
can I respond?
36 and page 137.
Can I respond?
Jose, you're gonna be able to respond.
I'm landing
here. Get it out.
You find that all sorts of religious practices persisted, including but not limited to Islam. Phyllis Wheatley writes about the fact that traditional African spirituality continued on, and this was something that was not forbidden at all, and actually was allowed and encouraged because it's one of the vehicles for allowing the ancestors to remain in chains. So again, if anyone dares to respond, please respond with primary source evidence.
I have one question.
You don't have a question. Respond with primary source evidence.
Hold on, Cedric. Cedric.
Did you say slave?
Cedric, let me respond first.
Jose respond, and then Cedric.
That was a pack of utter nonsense given by a troll who clearly doesn't know what he's talking about and wants to sound highly intelligent. So I'm not gonna engage in an argument that I didn't make because I didn't say anything about options. You're making a whole argument because you want to sound intelligent. So I'm not gonna even dignify that with any academic response because we're having a good conversation and you jumped in and tried to insult my intelligence. So I'm not going to respond to that.
That's probably why.
Yeah. The appeal to authority is always thick when you have no real arguments. My own thing is, did you say slaves?
Initiative?
Did you say slave? I just want to know that. Did you say slaves?
I understand what you're saying. The word slaves came out of my mouth on multiple occasions.
All right. Okay, good.
He's incorrect on that. He's incorrect on that. That slaves are not forced into slavery. And I'm going to show him right now that he's incorrect and he misspoke like he always does.
Hold up, Chris. Hold up.
No, let him do it.
No. It wouldn't that. We had somebody else on. Because Chris just jumped back on. JJ, question or comment?
Mandinka Mali.
All right, we'll go back to Mandinka. Take it away, MVP.
All right, hold up. I'm here. I stepped away for a second, man. I'm just sitting on the panel. I got a chance. I have a chance to kind of listen. Hopefully, the show ain't over yet. And then I can get in where I'm need. Other than that, I don't know if this is like an attack on African spirituality, and you guys are pretty trying to say that, atheism is the way to go. I haven't figured that out yet, so I'm going to just sit back. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to the team. Shout out to the line.
All right, we appreciate it. MVP, it's on you.
Yeah, so the person that says that Christianity was not enforced on Africans in the colonial Americas, I would like to ask him, do you have a primary source when you're dealing with these things, when you make a statement such as that says slavery was not forced on African slaves in this country?
Yes, and to the idiot who just asked me the question, I named 3 of them.
Okay, can you please provide us with those sources, please?
Yes, I literally said the Georgia Writers Project. I told you
Georgia Writers Project. How late are those? How late are those?
Are you listening?
I'm just asking you how early or late are those writings?
Charles Ball's 50 Years in Chains. That's a primary source from a former slave. The Georgia Writers Project. The Benjamin Bussey Thatcher, his Memoirs of Phyllis Wheatley Project. These are primary source documents regarding.
Here, so we're gonna go to You can stop now. Here, I'm gonna go.
I can't understand what we're saying.
He's just repeating. He's bloviating here. He's naming a bunch
primary source documents or not?
All right. Slim Reaper. Hold tight. Chris, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Let me share my screen, please.
Slim Reaper, chill out. We gonna get back around to you.
Share
Chris, go ahead.
Now you already know what I'm going to do. This is source up or shut the fuck up. This ain't you just coming on here bloviating how many recent books that you just wrote. We're going to go into something called the Edict of New War, which was written by King Louis XIV, and we're going to see what he has to say versus what you have to say, reading all that the Christian apologetic bullshit you be coming with. Okay, so here, can I share my screen? Can you share my screen, please?
I thought we were just having a convo.
We are just having a convo. Just sit back and wait. All right, so this is the Edict of the King. This is March. This is in March 1685. This is a primary source recorded at the Sovereign Council of Saint Domingue, May 6, 1687. Cedric Ortega, pseudo killer official. What is this called? A primary what?
That's a primary source.
This is a primary source from the horse's mouth here. Let's see what they have to say. Louis, by grace of God, King of France and Navarre, to all those here present and to all those to come. Greetings, and what we must also care for all the people that divine providence has put under our tutelage. Let's go down a little bit here. We're going to get into the articles here, but I do want to read this here. It says, American islands studied in our presence. These reports inform us of their need for our authority and our justice in order to maintain the discipline of the Roman Catholic, Catholic, and apostolic faith in our islands. Our authority is also required to settle issues dealing with the condition and quality of slaves in said islands. We desire to settle these issues, even though they reside in infinitely far from our normal abode, we are always present for them, not only through the reach of our power, but also by the promptness of our help toward their needs. For these reasons, and on the advice of our council and our certain knowledge, absolute power and royal authority, we have declared, rule, and order, and declare, rule, and order that the following pleases us. Article 1. We desire and we expect that the edict of the 23rd of April, 1615 of the late king, our most honored Lord and Father, who remains glorious in our memory, be executed in our islands. This accomplished, we enjoin all of our officers to chase from our islands all the Jews who have established residence there. And with all declared enemies of Christianity, we command them to be gone within 3 months of the day issuance of the present order, at risk of confiscation of their persons and their goods. Article 2. This is the important part here. Article 2. All slaves that shall be in our islands shall be baptized and instructed in Roman Catholic and Apostolic faith. We enjoin the inhabitants who shall purchase newly arrived Negroes to inform the governor and intendant of said islands of this fact with no more than 8 days, or risk being fined an arbitrary amount. They shall give the necessary orders to have them instructed and baptized within a suitable amount of time. Article 3. We forbid any religion other than the Roman Catholic and Apostolic faith from being practiced in public. We desire that offenders be punished and rebels disobedient of our orders. We forbid any gathering to that end. We declare to be, excuse me, can you read that for me, Leandre, please? What's that word there? I can't pronounce it.
You want to hurry up and finish so I can respond to your nonsense?
Okay, this is a primary source. He's calling it nonsense.
No, it is nonsense because you really don't know what you're talking about.
Hold on. Now he's saying we don't know what we're talking about.
I need y'all not to talk to each other, man, because the other one gonna be trying to just. Hey, let Chris. Because listen, everybody, listen. I need Chris to finish. Leandre respond, and then we gotta let Jose close out because we got a versus series face-off coming up in like 10 minutes. Oh, and then we got a source. Hey,
hold up, baby, because he don't mention one of the sources.
Time out. Everybody, I need to push the face-off back to 6:30. 6:30. I got a sore. Hey, listen, I ain't never talked to a sore MK, so y'all got to give me the 6:30. The face off, and y'all can run it. Anonymous say let him box. He one of them, bro. A1. Let him box. I just need one more. I appreciate you, Anonymous. Somebody confirm with A1. Chris, go ahead and finish. Right. Leandre respond. We're gonna go to Asor, and then we're gonna go back to Jose so he can get this thing closed up.
Good.
Okay.
You're leaving me out.
So right here.
I'm leaving somebody out. I ain't gonna leave y'all. Go ahead, Chris.
Right here, where we see in the primary source that slaves are being forced into conversion of slavery. Now, I'm gonna let him respond, and then I'm going to show here in colonial South Carolina where slaves were ordered to be beaten if they did not. And I'm going to show him the law that slaves were to be beaten if they did not convert to Christianity. I'm going to show him this. And remember, guys, excuse me, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know this is a primary source. You're dead here, sir. You said that they were never being forced. That came out of your mouth on this channel, and I just heard you.
Wait, hold up. I got a question.
You're finna die.
I got a question for Chris and Leandre.
Come on and save him.
No. I'm not about to save nobody because I gotta remind y'all. I pushed it back to 6:30, but we still got Asar. We still got Brother Herc. And we still got to get it back to Jose because it was a Jose show. So I'm about to ask y'all a question. And I need
bring me on here and I'll debate him on it. Bring him on here and I'll debate him on it.
It can be a dialogue.
It can be a dialogue. It don't need to be a dialogue. Bring him on here and let's debate it.
Leandre, what you say? Leandre, what you say?
I'm calling you out. Let's debate it.
DMG, the answer is yes, but I'm still going to respond to what he said
Thank
right
you.
now.
Set
So
the date.
let-
I'll
let's-
be
let's
there.
stop stalling.
Set the date.
You go.
Oh, DMG,
You go.
DMG, stop saying yeah. He asked me a question for primary sources.
You gonna respond?
He asked me
All
for
right,
primary
let
sources.
Chris
He asked me
finish.
for primary
Let Chris
sources.
finish.
I started listing primary sources, and then when he wanted to
Those
cut
are
me off
not
because he didn't
primary
like how I was
sources.
actually
Hold on.
listening.
Hey, Dre, we gonna come back to you in a sec. Let him finish, and we're gonna come right back to you. Go ahead.
Okay, so and what I want everybody to know is he did not list primary sources. A primary source is something written at the time. What he's doing is reading you secondary, tertiary sources that how can I sit up here and say it, that agree with him, like the Phyllis Wheatley Project. All of these people are of late. He can't go, once I go into a timeline and I show him the laws, the codes, the edicts, and everything else associated with making slaves less docile, he's going to lose in this debate. This is the problem with Christian apologetics. Stick to the primaries on them. And when you go against your ancestors, you will lose. So don't come on here trying to talk about what some slaves said, because the majority of them were forced into it. So you're going to lose. When do you want to set the date? Because we could do it Friday. This easy work for me.
Can I respond now?
Get this book.
Now,
all I'm saying is, holy shit!
Yeah, B.
All I'm saying is exactly it. DMG, are you gonna let me respond? Because I'm starting to get annoyed.
Hey, listen, man. I know you felt that though. I know. All right, go ahead. It's on you, man. It's on you, man. I know you felt it though.
So this time, don't let anyone interrupt, because I want to cover a couple things. One,
don't run.
You have a pseudo dude up here talking about logic, and he's responding, trying to combat and talking about Cedric. Cedric's education has nothing to do with logic or philosophy. Mine does. And so when he talks about, there's a logical fallacy called the ad vocundum fallacy. And it's where you make an appeal to an unreliable authority. So meaning someone who doesn't have an education in that particular area, they're not a reliable producer of information on that source. So he's talking about an authority. Cedric is misusing utterly logic. And he has no idea logic because his education is not even remotely in logic. So again, you can ignore him. It's relevant to appeal to someone who has a relevant background and history and research into a particular topic. That's why when you write papers on anything, you cite your sources. Now, speaking of citing sources, DMG knows, in pursuit of my master's degree in history, of the one person up here, I'm the only person up here with a legitimate master's degree. Two of them, in fact. Nobody else on this stage can boast of that. One of them is in history. And in history, DMG knows this. I've actually written on the topic of the conversion of African slaves, and DMG knows because he's read the paper. Now, DMG, do not send the paper to anyone, because no one needs to try to get a heads up on this. But one of the things that the person talking doesn't know is that actual historians, like Albert J. Roboteau, writes on the fact that even though you had codes that existed that said these sorts of things, there was all sorts of problems that someone like Chris doesn't know. This is why he gets his whole Helios Biblos stuff confused. And so he ran to ChatGPT, tried to find the source, and then it didn't work out. But here's the problem. When you are over in the continental United States, they didn't actually give a damn what any king was having to say. They certainly didn't give a damn what they had to say in France about religious instruction. But that was the same for all colonial powers. So the idea that because there was a code that existed, that resulted in practice, this is something that is a novice mistake. Albert J. Roboteau writes on the fact that, by the way, and let me cover this as well, Charles Ball and Phyllis Wheatley were both born in the 1700s. These are primary source documents, not people writing later. These are primary source documents, not secondary sources. Those are primary source texts. If you go to any historian, call a college, call the African American history department, call the history department, ask them if Phyllis Wheatley and Charles Ball, ask them if those people are primary sources, and they're going to tell you yes, because they are primary sources. So the idea that that I cited from something that's not a primary source text, that's utter nonsense. De Azarara is a primary source text. De Azarara, for example, chronicles the fact that they were going to capture these slaves over in the Angola region in order for religious instruction. The problem is that that is not something that actually followed. As a matter of fact, I'm going to read you a quote here, and this is from Patricia Bonomi. And this is talking about the English. One of the principal reasons for the refusal of English planters to allow their slaves to receive instruction was the fear that baptism would emancipate their slaves. The notion, and there's an ellipsis, was legally vague but widely believed. Repeatedly, would-be missionaries to the slaves complained that slaveholders refused them permission to catechize their slaves because baptism made it necessary to free them. So, and that's the English. But check it out. You can look at this same thing among Catholic authorities as well. Catholic authorities as well had the same apprehension against religious instruction of their slaves. And this one comes from James Pennington. In the part of Virginia, and as a matter of fact, this is again another primary source text. In the part of Virginia where I was born, there was no such thing known as a school for slave children, no Sabbath school, no means of provision made by the owners of teaching their slaves to read and write. The slaveholders, in part where I was born, made no arrangements for the religious instruction of their slaves. In the country where places of worship are very few and far between, in these houses of worship or chapels, which have galleries in them, the slaves can sometimes occupy them when there is room. But if there are whites enough to fill them, then the slaves have to stand outside. Those cases where the slaveholders themselves are even connected with churches as members, they never concern themselves about slaves going to attend upon divine services. So what we know is from primary source documentation and the work of actual historians. And there's only one of those on the panel, and the person.
So you're moving the goalpost and creating a straw man and arguing again.
Hold on. We'll get back to you, Sid. Hold on.
So anyway, there's no moving the goalpost. Here is another time where there's a person with no background.
No. That's all right, Cedric.
Shut up.
Straw man.
Let him finish.
As I stated, no primary source documentation that shows that the slaves, that religion was forced on them. Not that you have someone who said it should be forced on them, but whether or not this was followed through. There was an apprehension among Protestants, among Catholics, among Orthodox Christians, like the Russians, right, who had a colony over in the West Coast. There was an apprehension against doing this. This was uniform because of the way that the slave masters and slave owners and European and colonists viewed the Old Testament. That is a fact that's testified to by actual historians. And the only historian on the panel is me. There's not another one up here. Everyone else is Googling using ChatGPT. So again, I just read you primary source documentation.
Everybody mute up and DeAndre.
Mute them. Now, again. So let's set up the debate. Now, DMG knows this because I've already sent him the paper. My paper's peer-reviewed. And for my master's degree, is peer-reviewed and all that. So again, the people who are up here talking are Googling and using ChatGPT, and they have never had their work cross-referenced by anyone with any subject matter expertise. So again, I can show you primary.
Are you done? Stop crying. Shut up.
Let them finish.
Again.
The longer we interrupt, the more prolonged his thing gonna be. Let him get it out.
How much more time do
Yeah, let me know when I can go. I want to be next to last.
Now again, so the Drums and Shadows Project, primary source. Phyllis Wheatley, primary source.
If we get mad about somebody going, I ain't hear nothing when my man Chris was gone. So if we doing this kind of bullshit, like I ain't in the mood for that type of shit. So we either gonna get mad all around or we ain't. Go ahead, Slim.
Anyway, here's to sum it up again. Whether or not there's an edict that exists, whether or not that someone can go read and pull up dumb verses where they say that this is going to be useful for the instruction of the slaves in order to make them no longer pagans, we can spread the Christian religion. That's not the question. The question is not, and the question was not on the board, was not whether there was some authority figure who said, hey, let's go ahead and capture and enslave these people and it will instruct them in religion. The question is whether or not it actually took place. I can show you Franciscan orders where I can show you works of actual historians and actually primary source evidence from Native Americans, as well as the Roman Catholic bishops and the Franciscan orders who refused to do anything like this. It was all voluntary. I could show you that slave masters did not allow for the instruction of the slaves. I can tell you that this, by and large, happened during the Second Great Awakening. These are all actual facts, because one of us on the stage has actually studied the topic. I didn't Google, no ChatGPT, published peer-reviewed paper that was submitted to subject matter experts, unlike any other person on the panel. So don't let someone with a fake master's degree in history and someone who claims to have a master's degree in science talk to you about either history or philosophy, because of those topics. I'm the only one on the panel, who has any background in the subject matter. So again, set the debate up. It can't be next Friday. I'm supposed to be doing the thing on Saturday. We can do it. We can do it the week after. And I'm going to rake you over the coals, because you don't know what you're talking about. You have
let me get this. Let me get this real quick.
You wanna let somebody else go, or you want to go?
Let me get this in closing. Let me get this in closing, and because I want to get out of here for real quick. This is what I'm talking about. All he did was get up here and bloviate and tell you about Mary Granger's work about Phyllis Wheatley project, and he don't even know what a primary source is. We have historical documents, first-hand accounts of slave masters forcing Christianity on Africans in this country. We have laws that forbade a slave to practice his native tongue, to practice his native religion, and he had to be forced into Christianity. We have those laws in South Carolina and Georgia and in Florida. You can find all about that in a book called Spanish Rule in Florida. You guys, this is going to be a real easy debate. Like I said, he didn't answer the question. He said that the Edict of Nouveau, by King Louis XIV was stupid, and I didn't know what I was talking about. He gets up here, he talks about degrees and shit, and you still a nigga. And he talks about how smart he is, and he didn't even answer the question. He's nothing but a Christian apologetic. Stick to the primaries on these guys, and then he bloviates about how smart he is. You're not that smart, dude, because you support the supplementary hypothesis, which would make the Bible, guess what? Infallible. No, inerrant. Hold on, shut the fuck up.
Hold up. DeAndre, let him finish. Let him finish.
What was on the board was this. This was on the board, dummy. Was Christianity forced upon slaves? And I read you a primary, and you gave me secondary, tertiary sources. You gave me Christian apologetics. You gave everybody a bunch of bullshit. This debate will be a cinch. Show your ass up, and I'm gonna drag your ass across the coals, and we gonna give your ass 50 lashes, like Umar said, do against you type of niggas. Fuck you, fuck Jesus, fuck the Bible, nigga. What's up? Your ass better be there, nigga, because I'm gonna burn you the fuck up. You easy work. This is your wife's boyfriend.
All right, so yeah, it's going to So let me get in here and get it done real quick.
All right, let's go to a song. All right, Chris. All right, Chris, we're gonna holler at you, Chris. We're gonna holler at you, Chris.
I just need 2 minutes.
All right, Chris.
I just need 2 minutes.
Let's get this out real quick. Let's go to my brother's source, because it's one of the sources I introduced to the community. You keep mentioning Drums and Shadows. So since I brought it out about, it's been 10 years ago now, let's go into the book and let's see if what you're talking about is true. You mind if I share my screen, brother?
Go ahead, let me.
We're gonna share the screen. So, let me know if you can see it.
Somebody call an ambulance for Chris.
Let me. All right. Let me know when you got it up, Chief.
It's up now.
All right.
So this is Drums and Shadows, and I'm not even going to go deep. I ain't even going to go into the captive Africans who speak on this. We just going to touch in the forward and the introduction. It says right here, it says, my own position lies somewhere between these two, since I believe that there are a few important African survivals in the United States, but that the degree of significance of these African heritages is questionable in view of the overwhelming tendency of the culture of the white man to displace the Negro's African culture, and that their influence on the everyday problem of race relations is relatively inconsequential. Let me say that one more time right here. the tendency of the culture of the white man to displace the Negro's African culture. However, regardless of differences of opinion as to the nature of the importance of African heritages in our civilization, almost everyone would agree that the question is interesting and worthy of study. Such study may not only satisfy a wholesome curiosity, but may throw light on the scientific problem of the process which go on when two different cultures come into contact. Let's go down a little further. Miss Granger makes no decision as to the African sources of particular traits. She has, however, included a valuable appendix on West African culture patterns and has cited them numerous possible parallels between these patterns and the cultural of Georgia coastal Negroes. Now, let's get to the introduction. Like I said, we ain't even gonna have to go far to get this up out of here. We already seen that they're imposing on African cultures in that statement. This is notes to the reader. Let's go one more to the intro. Next introduction. This is you saying there was no slavery, right?
I didn't say there's no slavery. What are you talking about?
B, you claim that slavery had no effect on the situation.
I didn't say that either. What the hell are you talking about?
And hush. I'm talking about you, bum, because you came
I didn't say nothing like that, you weirdo. What are you
now
talking
you're getting
about?
destroyed.
All right, hold on. Listen. Let's not.
About you, you dummy.
Hold on. Everybody pause. Let's not engage with each other.
Did I say there was no slavery? What the hell is he talking about?
You was talking about
listen. Check it out. I just need y'all not to engage with each other because it's gonna turn into a back and forth.
DMG, what's the trigger on the table?
Hear me out, Slim Reaper. We'll get back around to you. We're gonna let Asar finish, and then we're gonna get back around because we still got Brother Hurt to get to.
Yeah. DMG, what's the topic right now?
What's your mouth, boy? I told you it's not your turn, and you still trying to talk. Shut up.
Let Dre. We gonna come back around to you. Go ahead, Asar.
So shut up, Goofy. It's not your turn. Now
that was him, man. That was me.
You still talking?
That ain't me.
Mute out. Everybody mute out except Asar.
Take your L. Now, this, like I said, this is from the Drums and Shadows book, so I know the book. I can go to some of the narratives in the book and show him where they like, well, slavery did this, so we ended up doing this. But let's just read just a little bit more. We got 2 paragraphs, and we'll leave it on the floor. The African Negro introduced as a slave into Virginia in 1619 have been a part of the plantation life of the older colonies of America for more than a century before the colony of Georgia was founded in 1733. Almost 2 decades passed before the trustees of Georgia legalized Negro slavery. Thus, it was the middle of the 18th century before Georgia became an open market for slaves. By this time, their certain land restrictions have been removed, and the consequent development of large plantations, for which the Negro was an economic necessity, greatly stimulated the slave market. During these early years, the plantations that developed in the tidewater regions of coastal Georgia planted principally rice, a wet culture necessitating a high percentage of Negro laborers. Later, as additional acres of adjoining higher ground were planted in sugarcane and cotton, the demand for slaves persisted. Now, we just covered 2 things. The slavery obviously had issues because they were taking them from Africa over to here. Second, when you got here, as it told you in the very first paragraphs, your heritage was suppressed. This is your resource. This is your primary. This is the book Drums and Shadows. So apparently you need to read it again so you can get Georgia Writers Project in the correct words and you can correct your false argument. Go ahead, homie.
Okay, so I don't know what the absolute fuck you were talking about because that had nothing to do with what I said. The conversation was about whether Christianity was forced on our ancestors. And that is something that is generally bunk as an idea. That was the entirety of the conversation. I don't know what the hell that had to do with Africa. I don't know what the hell that had to do with anything. one of the things that you read was that was kind of interesting, and it's in my paper that DMG's read, and DMG don't share my paper with anyone. But it talks about how
why you keep saying that like you think think I'm a shark. You didn't say
right. No, because no. I'm just saying that. I'm saying that because I want them to know.
Right, you have literally said that like 6 times, man.
Because, no,
nobody else shut your damn paper, bro.
No, DMG. I'm saying it because I'm calling you as a witness because I know it's going to get some people who want to ask. But some of the stuff I've read again, it's in the paper. Academic paper read by subject matter experts on the topic. But anyway, but part of the interesting thing is that one of the things that you read in the foreword is that we have carryovers from Africa that showed his face over in the Americas in slaves. And it's one of the problems with the idea that we didn't have other options. Again, part of the primary source material. The evidence tells us that in point of fact, practices continued. What I pointed out on page 136 and page 137 is that you'll find a description of a Muslim who continued his Islamic practices over in the Americas. That's a fact. That African spirituality, and by the way, and I don't know what Chris was talking about when I was talking about Phyllis Wheatley because it had nothing to do with Margaret anyone. That was Phyllis Wheatley. I told you exactly who it came from. So, but we have the existence of African spirituality that existed on the continent. I guess there's and let me just say this. Let me stick to what you just said. I'm gonna say this again, and I don't say this kind of things often on camera, but I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It had nothing to do with anything I said. It had nothing to do with anything I said. Everything that I said was that you didn't have some concerted effort to convert the Africans who were here to Christianity. And I said so because it was more beneficial to continue to call them pagans, because it made it so you could continue to justify their perpetual enslavement. That's what I said. So everything you read had nothing to do with it. I don't know why we read an entire paragraph about rice cultivation and crops and things like that. Nothing to do with the topic.
His argument when we went to
there was no argument that was switched. What I said from the beginning. I didn't switch a single argument.
Hey, Slim Reaper, listen to me. My G, just walk with me for a minute, man. Because
go ahead, I'm on mute. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, just walk with me for a minute, because my light-skinned Super Bowl Wolverine versus Sabretooth, because I don't know which one of y'all is which with you and Chris. He said Friday. I don't know what's good for you, but he said Friday. So I got my light-skinned Super Bowl. I'm on my DMG Don King thing. Asar M. Ka is up here. I ain't never rocked with the brother. So I'm saying, after you and Chris, you and Asar M. Ka, it ain't gotta be the same topic exactly, but we can work it along them same lines.
We can do the same exact topic, and I'm telling you, I can present the same exact argument, because when it comes to Q&As, niggas are going to get raked over the coals, because if you're dependent, as people are today, as is evident, on ChatGPT and Google to try to get these things right, you have no background or information on historiography or how history is actually done. So we can do the same debate with both of them. But this dude here today, again, we just read the last paragraph was about rice cultivation. If that doesn't tell you this person's off topic, he said that I said that there was no slavery. I didn't say that. He said that I said that slavery had no effect on the Africans. I didn't say that at all. What the hell are we talking about? I didn't say that. So if you're going to have me do something with a special needs person, I want community service hours for it.
Oh, wow. Really, bro?
I want you to get, listen, let me finish. I'm almost done. If you're going to do this, I want you, DMG, I want you to go ahead and I want you to register this as a nonprofit, and I want community service hours for what I'm doing with the special needs do, because the stuff he said was so off topic it wasn't even funny. So
I can't stand you.
I'll do it, but I want community service hours for it.
I can't stand you, man.
Jose, I need you to make clear what you.
I saw. Would you real quick, brother? And then I'm gonna go to you, Jose, to close this thing out, bro. And I just want you to.
Can I get in?
I want. Oh, hey, JJ.
Hold on. What's up? Hey, Jose. I just want you to see what you sparked, bro. This is you. So if you did that.
No, real quick.
You let the nigga in here. You let him in here.
Listen to me, Jose. Jose, just listen to me. What I'm trying to tell you is, as a personal favor, since you sparked this is your fault. If you ever want to host a debate on your channel, on me, once we figure out this dual stream thing, if I got a sponsor 1 month for you, so you can be able to do the dual stream, I got you. Whatever I can do to return the favor for you lending me this lit panel, I got you.
Listen,
but
you did me a good favor, and I appreciate it. But I don't know why you let this DeAndre dude in here, this arrogant dude, who needs to sit down and stop talking, because nobody's impressed with your degrees. You're talking foolishness, brother. You're embarrassing yourself. You're sounding like a sellout coon. Nobody's impressed. So go and lay down. Right. That's it for you. I don't want to hear nothing else from you. Go ahead. I don't give a shit. Go ahead, Mandinga. Let Mandinga talk. We done with him.
So what's your argument, Andre? Because you got all them things, but you messed up your
we're not entertaining any more of that. Let him go.
Wait. Jose, do me a favor. Jose, do me one favor. Do me one favor. No, you good. Jose, do me. I want to let Asar respond, because Dre said once him and Chris get done, we could get him and Asar, and I'm sure Asar look like he want to chop a head off. Then I want to let Mandinka Molly go, and I want to get back to you, Jose, to close us out.
Say everything I said, DMG.
And I'll be short because I know you got another show coming up.
So hold up, Dre. Let Asar go, and then we got to make our way around. Go ahead, Asar.
So Dre, you came in. I heard you talking all that crazy stuff. As soon as I read from your supposed primary resource, he got the backpedaling, he got the doing the moonwalk, the Michael Jackson came out you. That's not what I'm talking about. He didn't listen to any. See, I have these degrees. What we need to know is where you're going. So if you go, I need you to stand on your square, because when you get in the cage with me, it's different. It's different. There's a lot of blood in there. It's a lot of elbows thrown and all that goofy stuff. So I need to make sure that you're on point, young brother, because what I heard you say was that it had no effect on the choice of culture. But what we read from your primary was that it had an effect on their culture and what they could do. And I'm only hitting you with the bare minimum source. I ain't dug into you yet, because you kind of like Play-Doh. It's easy to shape you. So whatever you're trying to say concerning this discussion, you need to get it out. You need to stand on it, because when I call you to account for it, you're going to be in trouble. You seen I just ran to your source because it's one of the sources that I brought 10 years ago to the community, and you was wrong in it. So if they telling you that there's an alteration in the African culture that was brought, what would make you think that there wasn't? And that's your primary.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I didn't say there was no I didn't say there was no change in the culture. Like, again, like you have a comprehension issue that goes back.
Hold up, Dre. Hold up. You did say we can get to you and Asar after you and Chris, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. That's all I need.
Can I say one thing?
But I got to get to Mandinka.
I know. It's a few words.
Go ahead.
Please work with him on comprehension before we do this, because if he's going to do that, we're going to be having two different debates, because he still doesn't know what I said. So please talk to him. DMG, you talk to kids to read. Please teach him to read.
Hear me out. Hear me out, brother. Hear me out. We gonna have a face off and get everything.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No. Hear me out.
DMG, he don't know what nobody talking about.
So we can clarify everything with regards to y'all debate we gonna have a face off.
Okay, wait, but listen. I want to be reimbursed if I got to purchase crayons to explain this to this dude. So I'm
only getting your supermodel wife Wingstop, so she ain't got to cook for you.
If I have to explain things to him, I want to be reimbursed for crayons. I'm gonna go to the
Walmart. We got a whole box of markers for you, youngin. And you better color in between the lines, or you're getting penalized.
There you go. There you go.
No.
There you go.
You better color in between the lines.
What the hell are we talking about? DMG, after I do these two, I ain't talking to you no more because this kind of stuff I be talking about.
Hey, man, I'm gonna send you a bottle of Hennessy White, and you're gonna be all right, brother.
Okay,
and listen, just so you know, Saw M. Cod like beat up Jean-Claude Van Damme or something back in the day. He for real with the Muay Thai. I'm just letting you know in real life. But hey, Mandinka Molly, my man's in there. You know what I mean? And for everybody who gonna be like, man, I thought y'all was beefing. We ain't beefing. That's my brother. But brothers do beef sometimes, and then they still be brothers. So go ahead, bro. What you got for us on what you seen transpire with Slim Reaper, Jose, whatever the case may be?
You know, I'm kind of out of the loop with the Bible talk and all that, man. You know, the debates is like 5 years ago to me, you know. But I sit back and watch a guy who calls himself an atheist now, who has gave up on the ancestors. Because at one point in his life, his mama and his daddy was his God. Now he has switched over to atheism. So my problem with the atheism, because when I do my spotlight, I want the real smoke. You ain't gonna see me turn nobody down. When you come up here and you challenge me, we can get it in. It ain't gonna be, oh, he can't come up, she can't come up. How is that free smoke? No, it's Smoke Sunday with 7,000. That's what it's gonna be. And like Chris Harris, bro, you ain't even ready, man. You're an atheist now? That don't even come from Africa. That started in like the 1789 with some white boys over in European. This has nothing to do with the resonating with our spirituality. You see? So let me read you something about African spirituality. Can I get just 2 minutes, DMD? Just 2 minutes. I'm gonna be gone. But
I don't know about maybe not 2 minutes. Yeah, 1 minute for sure. 1 minute for sure.
This is why I retired. I'm letting you young fellas go ahead and get it in, you know, because I've been to the mountaintop. See, African spirituality is closely ingrained in many African cultures, Chris. You want to sit up here and give us this European madness? You got to be ashamed of yourself. I challenge you. I will put up African spirituality and how it's more beneficial to our people than your atheist goddamn philosophy. You see? Because it's often passed down through generations. For many African spirituality, it's an integral part of our identity, our community, in our daily life. So this is what I'm going to be hitting you with in the debate. Then I'm going to show you all the founding forefathers of your atheism, sir. That has nothing to do with us. Who sent you? Every black organization, here comes this guy ratting around trying to take it down. We want to see you defend atheism. As a matter of fact, I ain't even going to defend the Bible. We want to see you defend atheism. I'm going to tear it down. I'm going to show you that they're not like us. I had a whole list of these guys that it ties into scientific racism. Who sent you? Mr. I want all the smoke on Friday, and all she did was do. So, hey, your little flicker went out when all the big guys came up to the goddamn set. He didn't even want me to come up there. So this ain't SVDL, bro, where they holding your hand. So I finally caught y'all somewhere where they ain't holding your damn hand. I want all the smoke. And Slim Reaper ran y'all. Got them Gideon ran y'all. That Judah ran y'all. Everybody ran y'all. It was the weakest free smoke fight I ever seen in my life. So like I said, when I do my show tomorrow, and when I call y'all on atheism, you better be the first one to come up here and defend it. Sure. With that being said, hey, Lions in the building, get with your feelings. I'm out.
You okay?
Hey man, that was a symphony of madness right there, baby. Hey, listen, so I said something earlier about Christianity not being forced on our ancestors. My man said, send me a source. that indicates I may be incorrect. So shout out to my man, Cedric Ortega, quick with the scholarly information and just looking out for a brother so I ain't out here looking stupid. Salute. My man, Jose. This was all your fault, brother. Like I said, man, that offer stands.
I don't know. I don't know what
close
happened.
out this.
How this
Go
went
close.
off the rails at all. I thought it was gonna attack me. And it
Come
came in
on.
here. I don't know who dropped the blood in the water, but I think it was Asar.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Nobody jump on you. We ain't having that.
Somebody dropped the blood in the water. So once again, thank you, DMG, for the opportunity, and I appreciate it. But I want to say Slim Reaper is gonna get massacred twice, huh?
Twice.
DMG.
Yeah, I know that's your man's, but he wild and he gonna get in trouble.
Hey, look, check it out. That's why I say I owe you. So, you know, a month of the little StreamYard upgrade on me and or whatever. Like, you know, if you wanna stream a debate or host, but just let me know. Or if it's as simple as want to do it. I ain't been able to get Chris and Leon, bro. I've been trying to get Chris and Leon, and I ain't saying they gonna do it, but they said they was gonna do it. I've been trying to get them to do that for like 6 years, bro.
Wow.
I feel like you gave me good luck.
Yeah, man. I came with a good energy, so everything worked out well. So I hope everything works out well for you.
Yeah, bro. I gotta
and thank you for pushing back your other show. I appreciate that, man. You're a good brother, and I love you. I'm not holding nothing against you because you're Christian or not. You're my brother, and I love you. So hopefully in the future we'll be able to do some more collaborations and some more shows. I would appreciate it, right? So
no doubt.
Again, my brother.
Hit me up whenever. I'm gonna play this in honor of you coming on, bro.
All right.
Where we going with it?
I love that
where
song
we
too.
going with it?
All right, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Yo, where we going with it? Going back to Kemet, styling, profiling. It's been a long time. How many years? About 3,000. Man, we got to bring it back. The days and times of living is getting whack. I'm going back to Kemet, styling, profiling. It's been a long time. How many years? About 3,000. Man, we got to bring it back. The days and times of living is getting whack. I seen kingdoms come and I seen kingdoms fall. You can check it for yourself. You can read it on the wall like graffiti on the wall. Metal nets is what it's called. I taught y'all in the past. Now I'm back to teach you all how to elevate and repent from filthy ways. I know it's hard, but it feels good to fast for 30 days. I got y'all searching for the land that's across the burning sands, where the men turn into gods and the gods turn into men. The jewel of the Nile is in the motherland. Each one teach one, so go tell your brother, man, you're feeling down.
Hey, y'all know that joint fire. Y'all know that joint fire. Y'all know that joint is fire. You know what I mean? Shout out to my mans up at Temple of Anu who recorded that joint. Hey man, that was like 20 years old too. It tripped me out. Now it might be like back in the 90s. Like that mug hella old, but it hit. I was like, that's what's up. Shout out to the brother. Anyway, we got hey, nah, that's hate, bro. That's hate. That's hate, hey, nah. Hey, listen, y'all jump right back on in about 5 minutes. We got a powerful face-off for the Versus series between the one and only Anonymous Hebrew and the Bible breaker himself, A1. That's going to be a powerful face-off leading to an even more powerful debate right here on Paradigm Shift TV 314. Home of the Versus series. So y'all come back in about 5 to 10 minutes. The brother's gonna have that up. Ratchet and Classic Craig together for the face-off, Anonymous Hebrew and A1. We're going to be right back at it. Come right back, 5 to 10 minutes. That's peace.
This is A1 exclusive.
Tell Classic Craig is going down. They mad they couldn't get their point across. Shit, I love the sound. Them sources looking weak, homie. You know we gon' check them out. Flying through your teeth, have my pseudo killer stretch you out. Bring them back, they calling me the puppet master. It's always some strings attached. The pseudo always dies at its source. We gon' see to that. And there you go pontificating. You know we don't believe in that. And I'm bringing reading back. Don't I make this shit look cool? Debaters better keep it cool. Might hit up heavy hitters, have a rule, get it you. Have my scholars line you up, and I ain't talking barber school. Peer review party, bring your paperwork. You showed up to debate with no sources, man, that's crazy work. Them ad homs that never work. If you scared, go to church. It's your Allah, no more shirt. The versus series poppin', sir. Till DMG is going down, they mad they couldn't get their point across. Shit, I love the sound. Them sources looking weak, homie. You know we gon' check them out. Flying through your teeth, have my pseudo killer stretch you out. Bring them back, they calling me the puppet master. It's always some strings attached. The pseudo always dies at its source. We gon' see to that, and there you go pontificating. You know we don't believe in that. Till Ratchet Craig is going down, they mad they couldn't get their point across. Shit, I love the sound. Them sources looking weak, homie. You know we gon' check them out. Flying through your teeth, have my pseudo killer stretch you out. Bring them back, they calling me the puppet master. It's always some strings attached. The pseudo always dies at its source. We gon' see to that, and there you go pontificating. You know we don't believe in